Hey guys, Staff Sergeant Mo. I'm safe. It's okay. So the title is Camp Liberty Annex here, shut down. For now, temporarily until things are worked out, because they can't be worked out until the owner is reached, etc., and that hasn't happened yet. In the meantime, Metro has to comply to certain codes and things like that, and they have to remove us because the only people they're in touch with, they say, or whatever they found online, is absolutely not even the information that we have. So we'll see what's going on here. We'll figure it out. I'm going to show you guys. I'm doing a live video because I want it on recording, the conditions that we're leaving it in for our protection, that it's been improved, not destroyed, yeah, etc., etc. Here we go.
And everybody's fine.
And everybody's fine.
Don't charge it. Maureen, we're veterans. We run to the sound of gunfire. Everybody's safe. Everybody's fine. Undermining trolls.
For now, Gillis, we've got other things that we can set up in. And I'll be working on that diligently tonight. But in the meantime, I have to do this part. Okay, so I'll answer all those questions later, but for right now, let's get this video going. All right, this is all the stuff that was inside. We're still loading things up. We have friends here helping us out, and we have a safe location to go to right after this is over temporarily. We have several safe locations we can go to. All right, so first of all, I also want to show you guys these, and I'll take still photos of the completed work. I'll need the flashlight. Can you get that flashlight for me? Right there. Thank you. All right. And this side was the Bundys. All completed. We were getting ready for the symposium. This room is now cleared out. Okay, so the windows primarily are boarded except for where the air conditioner was. Larry, we got your air conditioner safe in our custody. So if for some reason things are not worked out and we cannot come back to this location, we are good to go with all things that have been loaned to us are loaded up and safe. All items. So that's the hallway, the improvements there. This room was being improved still. We were in the middle of this room, so we haven't improved the floor, and I didn't paint that wall yet. Okay, this remains the same as it always was. We have not touched that. We have not helped that. Okay, these cupboards are still the same, except, oh, I might have some things. Do I have personal things? No, these are the things that came with the house. All these items were already here. These ones were in that cabinet, but I moved them over there. So they're all safe. And those cabinets we didn't do anything with up top. We didn't touch them. I have, except for that one got cleaned. That's it. These are still clean. All of our gear is out. Okay. That was all here already. This is ours. Guys, I got more gear! I'll make sure and get that on my way out because that is ours. That is not repaired yet, but the temporary latrine that was in there was broken down today because we got the porta potty in today. So I'll have to call that service. Let me turn the other light on. Okay, this is the room we were sleeping in. Kitty is fine too. The kitten is safe. We have her in her tote and we're moving with her. Okay, those are just the Roach Motel thingies. All right, so we did good here. Oh, that was the mirror the guys found for me. The mirror came with the house, so we're leaving it here. The guys found that for me so that I can get dressed and ready for court from our room. This room was improved on, but not moved into yet. Okay. All those people that are coming into town, we'll have something figured out hopefully soon. Hopefully this will be resolved and we'll be back in here. And all we're doing is having inconvenience, and it has temporarily canceled our symposium until further date. Okay. We never touched this room. This had not been improved on. None of that's ours. Okay. And that would be the last room. And those are ours, our garbage bags. I'll get that. It will be emptied. Okay. All right.
copy your agenda over.
So we'll do the backyard next now, guys, and show the improvements and no destruction. Oh, front yard got swept and cleaned up today, by the way, for the symposium, which is canceled, but it is all cleaned. All right, so that's another improvement we made.
Maureen,
Yes, dear.
if you wanted to have that at my house, Tony can't have it. You can have it at my house.
Have what?
If you
Okay, let me think it through. Like I said, it's canceled for now until further notice. Greg is offering his house for us to have it. So we may still have a symposium. Oh, Metro came and shut us down because they couldn't get the information they needed. The owner has not been reached. I think they said they reached an owner, and they said the owner is just a bank, not anyone else that we were told who they were. They're saying that in the city records, so I'm not really, I asked him directly, did you contact, for the record, the owner directly? He said yes, several times on his camera. I couldn't use my camera because I had stepped outside without my phone, so I couldn't go live. And then when I said, can I get my phone? They said, no, you are detained. So I said, well, I will comply with under duress. I will comply under duress, but I should have the right to have my phone and record this. And they said, we're recording it. You're fine. Don't worry about it. So at first they were a little mean and not very good at communicating at first, but that improved as we did comply, even under duress. Codes, regulations, things like that were being cited, not shouted. And then things calmed down. Look at all those pigeons. They love it here now. So we still had these piles to move today. We got a bunch of it down. We moved all those piles already. We just had that pile to move and that pile to move. That's what we were working on. And then I was going to paint those boards, and we were ready for tomorrow, except for I had issues with the tables and chairs. Yeah, the trolls are definitely behind it. I saw some comments from the trolls, too, saying that they're going to get me shut down. They're making calls and that we're here unlawfully in their comment thread. But I think what is happening is somebody didn't change the permit over. There was a permit saying this was an abandoned and condemned place, but that's not true. There is a private owner. He just didn't change the permits over or something. So we got screwed for that, but for what the police can see. So I'm not really sure if he actually talked to someone, because then they cited and talked to me about what they found and that it was officially condemned and things like that, and it hasn't been changed over, or that is the status. And I told them what my information was, but that person has not been reached yet. So we'll get it fixed, I think, here shortly and be back. And I want to make sure that as long as it's all in compliance with, and Metro knows not to bother us anymore, and that it is lawful, and that I have what I need, we'll come back. As long as Metro is on board at that point, and the owner has made contact with them, and everything is golden on that, then we'll come back. If for any reason I've been given disinfo, which I doubt, then we won't be coming back. But I have a hard time believing that. So there you go. Still come. I will be working very diligently to ensure. I mean, I know there's a lot of Patriot homes too that people can room in, so there is that. They just shut us down because they knew you were all coming into town, because we've been here for over a month, and they only just now came at us like that just today, right the day before the symposium, and right before all those Patriots who are on their way are coming for Monday's court case. So you tell me what it looks like to you guys. Very suspicious. Well, if the broadcast has been interrupted, I got to answer the phone. Can you guys hear me now? That call should have actually, can you hear me now? I'll type it. Can you hear me now? Okay, you guys can hear me. Awesome. All right, so right now I just wanted this video to be on record. All of this is going to be gone before we leave right here. All these items. The guys are loading everything up the best that we can without boxes. So it's not the neatest moving plan I've ever had, but we're doing it. Complying for right now, under duress and forcefully, yep. Not physically by force. We didn't let it result to that. Okay, so if I'm buffering the recording when you leave, when I'm done with this video, the recording might play better for you. Kitty is fine. Where's the kitty at? Which vehicle is the cat in? Right there. Oh, she's not in the vehicle yet. There she is. Hi, baby. Hi. I'm right here, Mamacita. I'm gonna have you in my arms in just a second. Okay. She has holes there, but let's get this uncovered. The holes have been covered by stuff. That does not need to be there. She is fine. No, it's, well, you know, with what happened in court
Doug knows,
on Thursday.
Hi, everybody's safe.
Hi, Doug. We're safe.
He's watching your video.
They didn't tase us or shoot the kitten this time. There was some tense conversation in the beginning because I asked a lot of questions and they didn't like that at first. But then at the end, I let them know, hey, my questions weren't to have a fight with you guys or an argument, was to get the facts. And he said,
please, for the symposium, Doug just asked.
Huh?
Doug just asked about the symposium. Are you still looking for a
place for Saturday?
Well, if Greg's offering his place, for tomorrow. It's tomorrow. So we'd have to do it at Greg's.
How many people?
I don't know. We didn't get a count because nobody's given us.
100 or 20?
I think like 20 or 30.
Fine, done.
Okay. Yeah, at first they were assholes. And then, you know, we're like, well, we'll do what we have to do right now under duress. But they made me like, so the whole story is, like, once I was outside, they made me stay outside. When I'm like, no, I want to go in and get my phone, just my phone. You can come in and watch me grab my phone. They said, no, you should have had your phone already with you. And then there was a point where they told us that we had to stay still right where we are, or, you know, don't act like 5-year-olds. We weren't even doing anything. Like, I just like kind of did like a turn around, walked away kind of a moment. You guys have the keys to give to him?
I would hold on to him.
All right. Okay. And so there was like some tense stuff with that, and I asked about who the woman was that was there with them in civilian clothes. They said, she's from our department. And I'm like, well, to do what? And they said, none of your business. So at first they weren't trying to communicate well with me. But at the end, when I said, you know, those are, you know, questions that I had, and I'm trying to work everything out to better understand everything. Then he said, no, that's good. Communication is good. So by the end, they were like, awesome, I guess. And I told them, well, I won't tell everybody that you were total, you know, jerks. I'll say that you guys were nice, and they were nice.
No, I love you guys.
They were definitely nice, but I haven't forgotten how the beginning, the approach of it was. I won't forget that. But everything did calm down, de-escalated. You know, my questions seemed to cause some sort of, well, what did you call that earlier? Where's Neil?
Is that one, Steve?
My questions seemed to cause some sort of adversity from them at first, and an escalation of attitude, just attitude. Like nobody's hands were on their guns or anything, just an attitude problem. And then they were doing their checks online and things like that, and came back with the information they came back with. I'm like, all right, well then I have to comply under duress. I know that information not to be true, but we'll figure it out later. So we'll do what we have to do. And then inside, where they were babysitting us at first, they were watching everything we were doing at first. They called us squatters too, by the way, because that's what was reported. They said people called complaining, saying that we were unlawfully there and that we were squatting.
And they actually unlawfully evicted you because no matter why you're here, they have to do a court-ordered eviction.
Yeah, and they did not.
So they didn't, but you being, I'm not calling you compliant, but just to keep the peace for
now, because I'm trying
for the P3.
Trying to be alive for Monday.
Exactly.
For Monday.
Main cause is the P3.
Yeah, right. No cop. No, they did not have attitude, Echo. Of course not. It's all my fault for asking questions. The attitude. They were nice by the time you got here.
I think it was a Russian collusion. The Russians did it.
So, guys, we'll pull through this. I'll figure out the rest of the evening as soon as I can. So I'm gonna let you go for right now because I got to start working on that next step.
Pictures from my house for dinner. We'll sort it out then.
We'll sort it out then. I get a glass of wine tonight. Maybe. I don't know if I want one though. I'm dehydrated right now because I didn't drink water during this move, so I'll get some water in me. Yeah, so basically they tried to find a workaround. They probably they didn't bother us this entire month that we were here because it was a private owner and they didn't have a workaround. So I think that these are just shenanigans right now because they had to make something up to make it happen, to harass us right before this big push of Patriots coming, right before. The other thing they mentioned too is without running water, nobody's allowed to live here, even if there's a private owner.
And it wasn't the private
and I said, well, we're working on that.
At the commission.
That was in the beginning before they made in contact with the bank, whatever that is.
But in the records, the people who reported this was not the owner. He said that, but since there was power running next door and no water, they only had to go this way. But it was an illegal eviction because they actually still have to do an eviction process. They can't just evict somebody in court without a court order. So,
well, the good news is too, though, that like the power company doesn't have any complaints about it, so they're not pressing any charges for me to have to go back to court for. Because they called the power company, and said that there could be some code violations and that they'll be down here to find out what those are. But then the company said, no, we're not going down there. We don't really care. We're not dealing with it. So I won't have to go to court to deal with this. But I was actually kind of hoping that I would have to go to court to deal with this because that would have brought out everything that needed to be brought out. But maybe other people wouldn't have liked that, like the owner or something. I don't know. But, yeah, like they think it's an illegal occupation. It's not. They think it's squatting. It's not. We have permission to be here. And working and constructing on the place for the water and everything, we would have rights to be here for that too. So, as we were doing. Yep, nope, they're just shutting us down. You're right, Lynette. I'm not making excuses. I'm just telling you how things broke down. And how, even though I asked questions, what was it you called it, Neil, when I asked a bunch of questions and then they became a little bit more gruff and aggressive with their tone and attitude?
I think that kind of thing.
I was being...
Adversary.
Yeah, I was being an adversary.
That kind of thing has its place, and other times it's not. You know, you're talking to guys who have all the power.
Yeah.
And quite
but what was I doing? What was I doing that was so adverse?
No, I was never. Quite honestly, Mo, I was referring to you, not.
Yeah,
them.
No, I mean that. Like, what was I doing? That's what I explained to them.
Yeah.
What was I doing that was so adverse that caused them to have an attitude with me? Exactly.
Well.
And that's what I'm explaining to them. I was asking
questions. It's hard to say exactly. I'll put it this way. I'm kind of a down-home, low-key guy, and I'm pretty good at getting on terms with people. You know, if these officers realized that, you know, I was really willing to listen to them and try to work with them, who knows? They may have said, "Oh hell, we'll come back in a couple of days and see how things are going."
Well, yeah, and I was willing to listen to them and work with them, but I had questions, and they became adverse towards my questions.
Well, quite honestly, Mo, you know,
he feels that I shouldn't have asked those questions, but that's the result. Is what my point is I asked questions. Now at the end, the police officer, it turned, and I said, "Listen, I had a lot of questions and things I wanted to know the facts to."
Didn't apologize, but you're like,
no,
hey,
I didn't apologize.
But you said, hey, I wasn't trying to be confrontational.
I wasn't being confrontational. And he said, I know that it's good to have questions. That is your right. You
guys probably never heard of Neil Cassidy.
They flipped the script.
You probably never heard of Neil Cassidy, have you?
No, I understand that. I'm just explaining to you how it went down and how it should not have gone on their parts gone down.
Well, let me tell you,
I have a right to ask questions without them becoming adverse.
I'll see you guys for dinner.
Okay.
Couple hours.
In these situations, though, Mo.
We'll pull you.
Neil,
actually, I have the tote.
I get that. My point is, whether it's situation or not, it is my right to ask questions.
I have.
And it is my right to ask questions without the attitude and the adversity on their part for us to just figure out the facts. And in asking those questions, it's helpful to figure out those facts. So I did not appreciate that. However, it did flip the script and everything changed. As I said, went forward with, we'll comply under duress until things are worked out. Not a problem. And as they saw us doing that, they were much nicer and nicer and nicer and very sociable. Lots of, talked about the kitten, how cute she was, talked about how good the place looked on the rooms that we had worked on. They said, you guys did do a lot of work. We got to educate them, talk to them about why we're here, and that more people were coming, that we were having a symposium. And I did tell them, I understand exactly what's really going on here, that the information you guys have is disinfo. It's coming from trolls online, and then we'll get through this and fix it. And if we come back, we'll be back knowing that Metro is on board at that point. So things definitely turned around. But it was because I simply complied under duress, and they liked me better without asking questions anymore. They liked me a lot better. Yeah, but the end result is the same. Yeah, the end result is the same, except for once the legalities are worked out, we could be back. Yep, if we get the permits and things, like, we might have to do all that now. So that's okay. If that's what we have to do to keep Camp Liberty running, we'll meet some standards to make sure people that come here don't get thrown out, that this doesn't happen again. So we'll figure it out. Suing them, I don't know, because I think that there's some questionable issues here that were not made aware. I was not made aware of that I won't have a leg to stand on, possibly, because I'm not an owner. I'm not an owner. I was given permission to be on this owner's property. That's it. So I don't think that I have, like, a position to stand on or a leg to stand on for lawsuits. The owner would have to care enough for that. It's up to him. Yeah. There's always code enforcements that they look for. So they finally, after a month, found some reason to mess with us. And they got some complaints. And that was the trolls. So goodbye for now, guys. Got to get to work.
Shelby shows up.
Hey, guys. We're in the car. We're moving. Oh, baby. Hi. Kitty's doing good. Yes, she is. Or he. I think it's a he now, guys. Because, like, something's dropping, but very tiny, so I'm not positive. But I think the name Landon is perfect because I think it's going to be a he. I think he is a he. Yeah. Yes, I do. Isn't she? Or he? Now I gotta get used to saying he. It's gonna take me a while. Oh, he's purring. Oh, sweet baby. Yeah. That was traumatic, huh? A little bit traumatic, huh? Just a little bit. We don't like all the changes. We don't like that. We were settled in our room, weren't we? We were happy there, huh? Yes, we were. Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be okay, though. Yeah. Meow. Meow. I love you. I love you, baby. Okay. So, all is calm. We're fine. We're safe. The owner is going to be contacted by my friend. He's trying to contact him now. We tried already earlier, too. We couldn't reach him. We got a voicemail. So we'll keep working on that. Once we get a hold of the owner, we'll figure out what we should be doing from there. But everything will have to be 100%. And I don't know that I can do that in a day on a weekend. But it also depends when we get a hold of the owner. Chaz, are you local, Chaz? Because I'm not shipping her anywhere. And Andrea's kind of got her eye on her. She said, if I don't adopt her out to anybody, or him, I think it's a him now. If I don't adopt him out to anybody, then, yeah, are you saying hi to everybody? Yeah. You're famous. Yes, you are. I think they like you a lot. People want you. Meow. Meow. Oh, is my camera lens dirty? Hang on a second, please. That better, guys? Yeah, we're going to need people here because the tyranny here is real. Okay, so we're going to go to our host home. I was just going to tell you guys the whole story. In the video, I only told you like part of it with my mind wrapped around many different things happening. I heard a noise on the door. It wasn't a knock, but I heard a noise. Yes, I heard a noise like they opened or they were trying to open the front door. And that's what it sounded like. So I definitely got up and checked it. And I saw one officer at that time and one lady in civilian clothes. And I wasn't quite sure. And they were starting to look around the back. And that's where the other officer already was or was about to go to. I saw him kind of come around the corner. So that's when I saw two officers. I'm like, can I help you guys? And wanting to protect the inside of the home, I closed the door behind me, leaving my phone behind, thinking I can just, see what they needed and they would go away. But he said, yeah, actually, we are getting complaints that there are people here that are squatting. We're getting multiple complaints. And I know they've been getting probably those complaints for a while now. I haven't done anything because I know the trolls have been working on it for a while. And anyways, I said, nope, we're not squatting here. We have permission from the owner to be here. And he's like, well, I don't know that there is an owner, but we can check into that. We can get that. So I said, let me get the information of the owner right now, and we'll see if we can get the owner for you on the phone. I go knock on a door of the person that's in contact with the owner every day that has set this up behind the scenes. And I'm not talking about who that is because his name is to be protected. And he wasn't there. So I said, well, he's not here right now, but you guys will have to reach the owner. And then the other officer was walking around to the backyard. Well, I'm going to go check on the mound. I'm like, can you do that without the owner's permission? Because the owner's not here to give you permission to be here. And he said, yes, we can. We may not be able to go into the house unless we have cause, like, shooting, a murder, domestic violence, things like that. If we had that, we would go into the house. I'm like, well, you don't have that. So, and I don't have permission to give you permission to come into the house. So they stayed out for a while. And then they said that they have the right to go in the backyard, though, on the property. They can do what they want with that, though. They don't need cause for that to go look around. So I'm like, whatever then. All right. I don't have permission. I just want you to know that whatever. I don't have permission for that. But that's on you guys. And I said, well, let me go get my camera. I want this all on recording. And he said, no, you cannot go back inside there. Why can't I go back inside to get my camera? I'm not arrested. You are being detained, he said. So he officially put me under detainment. I said, fine. Under duress, I will comply. But I don't believe that these actions are right and that you're violating my rights. And, they kind of got an attitude with me from that point on, because, they were a bit friendly at first, and then it was at that point, he said, Officer Rose said, oh, you want to play that game? Because I said, oh, I'm sorry, I have to go back. When he said, you want to play that game, that was actually for when I said you would have to have a search warrant to be here and to come onto this property, and, permission from the owner, or permission from the owner. And he said, oh, you want to play that game? I'm like, I'm not playing any games. Those are
the law. That's the
law. That's not a game. And he didn't like. I'm like, look, I'm just exercising my rights and trying to keep things kosher. And after that is when I wanted to go inside for the phone and get everything on recording, because I could see now he's escalating with an attitude. Yep, by saying the words, oh, you want to play that game. That was my red flag. So I said, I want to... Hey guys, me again. Sorry we got disconnected on the last one when I was telling you the entire story of what had happened at Camp Liberty Annex. Kitty's still doing fine. I'll wait till you guys come back on. I left you guys a message in the comment thread that I am going live again. So I'll wait for you guys to come back. Okay, so he goes on to tell me, well, we're getting calls and complaints that there are people squatting here. I'm like, no, we're not squatting here. We're actually working in there and improving things. And he's like, okay, you know, like he didn't have anything there. And then he asked me if there's, you know, running water in there. And I said yes at first. And I'm like, oh, wait, do you mean running? Because I was thinking my potable water and stuff. I'm like, no, you mean running water like utilities? No, we're working on that, though. We're working to fix that. And he said, oh, well, see, nobody can stay here, even if there's a private owner. Nobody can be here on the premises without running water. That's just the way it is. So now I got to go look at those codes to see what's true. And I will. Camp Liberty Annex just got shut down by Metro here in Las Vegas, Nevada. So there's 2 prior videos in regards to it. Now I'm telling the second part of the story because I got cut off in the last live stream. So I'm going back to telling you guys the story on what happened. So there we are outside. Neil's with us. Neil has his phone in his pocket, brings it out. I said, can you use your phone? Do you have like Facebook or anything on your phone? And just as he was saying no, he doesn't have that. So I wasn't going to be able to use it for that. The officer said, put your phone away, sir. Please put your phone away, sir. And I'm like, we can't even have a phone out to like, what if we need to call people? And he said, I said, put your phone away. Neil complies, and I said, but we should have the right to be able to make phone calls. Like, are you guys like that afraid of us recording everything? Nope, we're not afraid at all, he said. This guy really started to get a big attitude with me there, and I'm like, I don't really understand that at all. And then I said, I asked him a question about what his other guy had said. I forgot what it was. There was something his guy had told us, about with Sergeant Rowe, the officer Rowe had told us, he told us something before he had left, and I remembered him saying that, oh yeah, I told him, well, your Officer Rowe said that if I had had my phone out with me already, then that would have been fine. And I said, I repeated, your officer said it's okay to have phones if we had had it on us already. And he has it on him. And he said, I didn't say that. I said, your other officer said that. He said, I didn't say that. I said, your other officer said that. And he was just like, and I'm like, okay, I see how this is going. So now we're contradicting. See, this is why we don't ever trust you guys or believe you guys. And there was a part where I was like kind of just walking in a circle too. And then he said, nope, you have to stand still. Don't act like a 5-year-old. I'm like just doing like a little circle, like wasn't going anywhere. And I'm like, well, actually, and then at some point I just stood there. And at some point it was getting hot and I was tired waiting. So I said, is it okay if I sit down over here on the sidewalks because I'm tired? He goes, nope, that's fine. I don't blame you. So he's a little nice about that. So we sat there. Neil joined me. We sat down. And that was actually before the phone thing that we sat down, because it was when we sat down, then the phone, Neil's phone, he had it and he was bringing it out, and then that conversation happened. Sorry, I'm telling you guys things out of order. I'm trying to remember everything factually myself too. It was just very awkward and weird, the whole thing. And then, and then not being able to report to you guys live, you know, they kept me from my phone and told me that I cannot go in to get it. I even offered them, when that argument was happening, that you can walk with me so I can get my phone. I'll let you come in at least so I can get my phone and come back out. He said, nope, you should have had it on you already. So they denied me my rights to have my phone. They denied me my rights to record. They denied me my rights to protect myself in case things go very wrong. They totally denied me all of that. All of that. So I'm not thrilled with them at all. Even if they got nice with me later, I'm not thrilled with the way that started. I'm not thrilled with the fact that at all that my rights were violated to begin with. And then the Officer Rowe, who's checking on who the owner is, since there was a point before the detainment that when I told you guys earlier that I knocked on the renter's door to have him call the owner and get him involved. And he wasn't there. And then, so that officer, I said, well, you're just going to have to check your records then for the owner. And then contact him yourself, because I can't contact anybody right now. Well, he comes back and says, okay, well, here's the thing. We're not gonna throw you out tonight. That's what he said at first. What's going on is in the records, it says something about, that it's a condemned place and the codes and this, and the bank owns it. So the owner that you think owns it doesn't own it. And I'm thinking, well, maybe records haven't been changed online, or they're pulling my leg because I can't trust anything they say. So I don't know what's going on at this point, because I know exactly what our friend has said, and I know that person would not set us up for failure. I know that person would not lie. And I told them, well, I know that the person that I'm working with is not lying to me. So I don't believe those things to be true. And then the other officer goes, I think we should just throw them out now. I don't think we should let them stay here tonight. I don't think we should throw them out now. And and before he said that, I was going to ask a question. So if we could stay here tonight, and by tomorrow, if we have everything remedied with the owner, we'll be able to stay. Well, he did not let me finish that. The other officer, not Roe, but the other officer, he did not let me finish that statement or question. It was a question statement. More of a question, though, that we won't have any further problems as long as it's remedied. And I didn't get to finish those words. Instead, that's when he interrupted and said, I think we should throw them out now. I don't think we should let them stay a night. And that's when the other officer said, okay, so yeah, we're not going to let you stay a night. We're going to throw you out now. So go ahead and start packing your stuff now. And I said, well, we'll comply, but under duress. We'll do that. So that's what we'll do. And then they had to monitor me and Neil as we were packing. And I could not... finally, I was able to get to my phone going inside, and I said, I need to make a call. Jamey did try to call. These are the people that are coming here that are also here with us, and then 2 people, and let them know to get on their way here now, etc. And he said, well, you're gonna have to pack and talk at the same time. I'm like, I don't multitask very well, like talking on the phone. To be honest, I have a neurocognitive condition, so it's not easy on me. And he was like, well, it's one or the other, pack or get out now or something like that and leave everything behind. I'm like, huh. So I give that a shot. I call Jamey. I'm like, I can't talk long because I have to pack at the same time, but Metro's here. They're throwing us out. You need to get here now. So I was able to give Jamey the heads up. And then I found that other people got the heads up. So I did answer my phone for like Andrea and Ashley, other friends and things like that as I could. And I had to keep moving and packing. Jamey and Robert showed up and jumped in the packing and moving. In about 2 hours time, give or take, we got her done. I don't know when this started. I know that we just left at like 15:30. So I know when it ended, but I didn't have a time frame for sure when it started. It just felt like 2 hours had passed altogether. Because I did not have my phone, which has the time, and I don't watch anymore. I haven't worn one in years. But from then on, as we're packing and the guys are there, and that was another thing, part of the questioning process they didn't like in the beginning, going back to the beginning where they first arrive and he's trying to get my information, and I was not handing my ID. He didn't do that. He didn't even ask for my ID. I was actually surprised in that. He just wanted to know my full name, and I'm like, all right, that's Maureen Peltier. So I don't have a problem giving him that. And he's like, what's your date of birth? I'm like, do you need my date of birth? Well, to properly ID you, I do. I don't think you need my date of birth, but I'll comply under duress, because they were going to escalate from there. And I just let him know, fine, under duress, I'll give you my date of birth. Gave him my date of birth. And then, whatever. He's like, well, I just need to make sure you're not like some murderer from, somewhere else, or committed some crime or have a warrant on you. And then he specifically said, I want to make sure you didn't shoot somebody in Oregon. I'm sure you didn't, but I have to double check. And I'm not from Oregon, but they were assuming already that I'm from Oregon with me providing no further information. I never mentioned that anything about the movement yet or anything. And I'm like, see, I know you guys know who we are and what's going on here. Because I've been in Oregon a lot. And so I could see somebody giving him wrong information and he thinks I'm from Oregon when actually I'm from a different state, I said. So that's weird because he was assuming I'm from Oregon. Now, why would he even have an assumption that I'm even from another state when he knew nothing about me yet? He supposedly knew nothing about me yet. So I caught him on that. I'm like, you guys are playing a game. You guys know more. I know you guys know who we are and what we've been doing here because there's been flyovers. I know you guys know. And I know what's going on here. We know what's going on here. So we're just being harassed is basically what's going on. I caught them in multiple, contradictions and lies on their cameras, not mine, unfortunately. So I'll definitely need to fill out Freedom of Information Acts for the event. Definitely file a complaint of some sort. My battery's low, so I can't talk much longer. So that is the full story. of what happened. I'm sorry, my timeline's all mixed up because I'm trying to remember all the little events that happened, and I want this on so I can replay this for myself because of my memory issues. Yeah, I don't know how they can just kick me out yet, but they are saying that we can, and without me being the owner, I sort of have to comply right now, guys. I mean, I have to figure out the facts with the people that allowed us to be there, and we could not reach them right now. So under duress, I had to comply. No doubt about that. I know that we had permission to be there, and now the cops are saying we don't have permission to be there. And that a bank owns it, and the bank is saying we don't have permission to be there. So that's what he's saying. I don't know that I believe them because my friend has told me about the owner and who they are and that we have permission. And we've been there a month. So I know, and the owner has been around and seen it, and he loves it, and he's really proud of us, things like that. He wanted to meet us at one point, but didn't meet with us, but he'd been to the property when we weren't there and seen it. That's all I know, and I trust my friend. I understand that this owner wanted, and he rents out to my friend. He has 3 properties right there, all together. And one of those properties, he has a renter in. And that renter is our friend, a Patriot supporter, somebody who knows, not just knows everything, he knows a lot. Somebody that we all are familiar with and is established in our community. So I am not worried about whether he's told me the truth or not. I know that the department is lying right now because they can get away with it right now until the owner fixes this situation right now. So, and that concerns me, that just to temporarily disrupt us, which is causing the temporary cancellation until further notice of the symposium tomorrow, and they know a lot of Patriots are coming into town, they are disrupting us right now, and they know that. So hopefully we'll get this squared away in plenty of time before Patriots show up, or around the time Patriots show up. But there's other properties, too, to be discussed, too, that the owner has with running water and things like that. That might work out better so we don't have the water issue. If that's a code I have to look up the codes and make sure of. Because when you're working there, I might have to get proper permits to keep that working. But we'll see from there. All right, so I'm going to let you guys go for right now. I've got work to do because we have to offload for now or something. Because we can't leave this in the street. Yeah, I know it's public record, but the records apparently are not being updated or something. There's something going on there, or they're lying about it completely. Really have to work with my friend in regards to this through them, and then look up the guidelines. So I've got work to do, guys. So before we go back there, I'll make sure that at this point the owner understands I do need to talk to him, and it has got to be absolutely direct now with me in regards to, and that I have to know that he, you know, either maybe with this incident doesn't want us there anymore, or maybe will fight for us. I don't know where he will stand on that. So, and we did do a lot of work, so maybe he doesn't care if we stay or not anymore. Maybe he'll help us, maybe he won't. I don't know. We'll see how he feels about it. So those are the other issues I have to consider in the back of my mind. He may not care to further help us. We'll see. I don't know. I can't imagine that he would do that to us, but some people do. I don't know. It's a risk we took, but we were there for a month, and we did a really good job. Yeah. So even the officers, when they were being nice again, they talked about how nice it looked in the rooms that we had repaired. They talked about how clean we were. They said, oh, wow, you guys are really clean, and you keep it really nice. You guys don't, you know, you're not like to typical squatter. And I'm like, well, we're not squatters. And he's like, well, that's just a formal term. I know you're not actually squatters. And I'm like, no, yeah, we're not squatters. So the guy that got the meanest in the beginning became quite nice. That's the other officer, and I already forgot his name. I asked them for their cards. They did not have cards on them, and he just said, well, you could just refer to me, Sergeant Rowe. You can talk about me and refer to me, Sergeant Rowe. I'm the sergeant on the case, so I'll be the main name. So Officer Rowe, Sergeant Rowe. Yeah, one step at a time, Lori. We're okay, Kathy. We're not even there now. So it ended peacefully. Nobody got shot or tased. Kitty didn't get shot. We're good. They didn't
like my questions, but I would only push so far with my questions because I didn't want them to put their hands on their guns. I didn't want to cause that kind of a scene. So I did my best to comply, but only under duress. I consistently said I will comply under duress. I will comply under duress. Only because I didn't want to get Neil hurt. I didn't want the kitty hurt. I didn't want to actually get shot over a house when we've got court on Monday and more important things to work on. And then freak out the whole Patriot community over me getting shot because I had a mouth on me or whatever they would say or whatever story they would make up. And without a camera, you guys would never have known the truth if something violent had happened. So I wasn't going to allow it to escalate that far. I only pushed so far with my questions. They didn't like them, and then I'd pull back, ask another question at some point that was appropriate. They didn't like it, I'd pull back. So I just like pushed and pulled back, but not with, I didn't curse, I didn't get loud, disrespectful. I was firm, though. I was very firm, but not disrespectful. Yep, we got the air conditioners too. We got everything that was loaned to us, everything that was bought for us, everything that I purchased, all the cords, everything. All the air conditioners, yep, everything we mounted except for the gazebo. The gazebo's still in the backyard, and the latrine, if I don't have things figured out in the next 24 to 48 hours, I'll have the porta potty removed. So I'll call on that, but I'm going to wait on that phone call until I know for sure what's happening. One step at a time, guys. So I wanted to give you guys the full story of everything I could possibly remember, and so that I have this on recording so that I can remember, because events like that are strange, and I'm going to probably, and there is good news. The power company, they contacted the power company for some reason to see if there's code violations they wanted to check out, and the power company said, no, we're not even going to bother going out there, don't worry about it. So I don't have a court case to worry about or anything. There won't be any code violations or tickets given to me. So, hey trolls, you got me removed and you've disrupted me temporarily, but I'll pick up again. So F you. And I would actually prefer going to court kind of to see like how it shakes out. But then we know the justice system isn't working, so I guess not. So maybe I don't prefer. I'm kind of thinking out loud. Maybe I don't prefer. But the power company, as it stands, wants nothing. They don't want anything to do or press charges or cite code violations or however it works here in Nevada. So there's none of that to worry about. So that part is no longer an issue. So yeah, trolls, you lost.
Hi, Staff Sergeant Mo here at Greg's house. Whoops, dirty camera. It's been a long day. So Greg's outside right now. The guys are getting some ice or something for Greg, and we've got more people coming here. I didn't ask permission to name names, so I'm not going to name names, but people that are part of the symposium and the work that's going on and accomplishing things here. So we're all going to meet here tonight, have dinner together, but we're also going to talk about the issues that we now need to face and deal with, and we're going to make new plans. So the symposium is not canceled. So I just sort of automatically canceled it on my own because of the situation at that time. My apologies, but there are many that want to keep it going. As a matter of fact, it's just going to be bigger and better. It's going to be bigger and better. I can't describe all the details yet or go public with that yet because it's not glued yet. It's not 100% solid yet, but we'll be working on that tonight. So the symposium is still a go. It will be at a different location and possibly a different date and time. Okay? And as far as lodging, we'll get that hashed out too. As soon as we get in touch with the owner, which I think we'll get in touch with him any moment now. And I think we'll have a lot established there. Of course, I'll want things more in writing instead of just a verbal permission to cover our asses so that next time Metro wants to come harass me, I can just show them the documentation and tell them they're not welcome here and leave. So next time I'll just want to do that. Is assuming there would be a next time. Lasagna. We get lasagna tonight.
Grilled pork beef, swimming pool.
Swimming pool. See, so it's not so bad getting thrown out by Metro. Look at how spoiled I am anyway.
The beach is that way.
So we're going to work on business tonight, though, seriously. We've got other people coming in, and we've got things to talk about and hash out, and we will get those things hashed out. We're going to be bigger and better and stronger. So thank you very much, Metro, and thank you very much for the trolls, because you're just pushing us to bigger and brighter ideas. We come together like that because y'all suck.
There was somebody that drove by in a red truck laughing, remember? Did you see that?
What?
Somebody
When?
drove by in a red truck laughing. And
No, I didn't see it.
When
At the house?
yeah,
At the
they swung by
Liberty
and they were
Annex?
laughing. Yeah, in a red truck.
So somebody in a red truck was driving by laughing, I guess pointing. I missed it.
Yeah, I
While we were at Camp Liberty Annex packing.
watching you get booted.
So somebody was watching us live get booted. So that video is probably going to be on our troll walls very soon. Interesting. Talk to you later. Bye.